What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Vince McMahon back at WWE HQ, the real reason Stephanie McMahon resigned, huge Royal Rumble rumors, rest in peace the Fiend, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at Vince McMahon back at WWE HQ. At top of today's news is the question why Vince McMahon was recently spotted at WWE HQ. Fans want to know due to the perception that Vince's return to creative is only a matter of time. PW Insider's Mike Johnson reported on the 26th January that Vince McMahon was spotted earlier this week at Titan Tower, so it appears he's back in his old office. Johnson added that this was the first confirmed sighting of Mr. McMahon at WWE's business office since his retirement last summer. So what is Vinnie Mac doing back at Titan Tower? Well, Meltzer had this to say in the latest Wrestling Observer, saying, "As for Vince McMahon, there is a difference in him at the office between the Vince of before and this Vince. He's generally working on the sale and hasn't been on any television shoots yet nor any creative meetings." Now, we noted in past videos some fans have wondered whether Vince McMahon has contributed to creative. Triple H previously addressed the possibility of Vince contributing to creative, with the game acknowledging Vince can contribute ideas now that he's back, but that he, Triple H, has the final say in all matters creative. Meltzer added, "It was noted to us that the Vince who was at the office all night and sometimes into the early morning is not the case at this point, as he leaves work now at a normal time since his duties are lessened, most notably the long creative meetings. But even on nights without long creative meetings, the old Vince would be in the office until late at night." Unless the WWE announces McMahon is back in control of creative, fans can only look at the product and decide for themselves how much Vince McMahon is contributing to the product. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, the real reason Stephanie McMahon resigned. Stephanie McMahon's abrupt resignation from the WWE shocked fans and industry observers alike, almost as much as Vince McMahon's surprise return. Equally shocking was that the resignation came after Mr. McMahon praised the management team at the time. Where everyone has their theories, but according to Dave Meltzer, the story internally as to why Stephanie McMahon really left is that, and this comes from those unhappy that she left, is that she had done a great job thrown into one of the co-CEO role, and with Vince back was about to be demoted, and basically she doesn't need the money or the job and had already decided last year to take a leave anyway. However, Meltzer did note, of course the difference between a leave and staying on the board and a full break and leaving the board indicates this was a lot stronger move. Looking at Stephanie's departure, it's difficult not to speculate that something more was going on behind the scenes than the official reason given. As we've stated before, fans may never know exactly what happened behind the scenes, which is only going to encourage speculation, likely leading to some wild rumors. Next up, Royal Rumble rumors. There's some interesting news on Saturday's premium live event as fans look forward to seeing on who will compete in the men and women's Royal Rumble matches. Let's look at the top superstar who won't be in the event and why, as well as whether a popular star will make it back to WWE in time for the match. The first, the real reason why Ronda Rousey isn't competing in the Rumble. So far it appears that Ronda Rousey won't compete in the Rumble. While plans can always change, Dave Meltzer reports Ronda Rousey will not be in the Rumble, or at least that was the decision as of midweek because of the feeling that they didn't want to marginalize her star power by being just someone in the match since she wasn't going to win it or being the focal point, and Charlotte Flair, rumored to be in at press time, was not to be in because she's SmackDown champion. The Rumble has some top stars booked for the match, but Rowdy Ronda's absence will be felt. This invites the question whether the WWE has nothing planned for her at the time being. Rousey could easily be booked into the Rumble and dominate the match while still being eliminated. This has happened multiple times before in the Rumble, and eliminations are often used to set up a subsequent program. Unless Rousey is unable to compete, it's puzzling why the WWE can't come up with a plausible situation to have her eliminated and remain looking strong. Next up, will Riddle be in the Rumble? Now, while Matt will make a great addition to the show, there are differing reports concerning his availability for the men's Rumble match. Dave Meltzer is reporting that Riddle completed his rehab, but as for a return for the Rumble, Riddle was announced as returning in 6 weeks after the injury angle on December 12th. That would indicate a Rumble return, although if he's suspended 2 months, you wouldn't make that timeline. Next up, where's Wardlow? Where is Wardlow? Well, Mr. Mayhem hasn't been seen on AEW television since he dropped the TNT Championship to Samoa Joe and failed to regain it. Is this the latest sign of AEW's failure to book big men successfully, or something else? In Wardlow's case, it appears to be the latter, as Dave Meltzer revealed in this week's Observer. When Wardlow did the match where Samoa Joe took out his leg, the reason he hasn't been back for revenge and dropped the TNT title is due to an injury issue. The stuff with Joe was done to set up his taking time off. The injury is not believed to be one that will keep him out of action for a long time. As some AEW fans were curious about why Wardlow dropped the title and vanished from TV. With any luck, AEW will use the time the big man is off television to write up a program that capitalizes on his popularity with fans. Next up, rest in peace the Fiend. So, no more Fiend? Well, Bray Wyatt is set to have his first match outside of house show matches since WrestleMania 37 tomorrow at the Royal Rumble. At WrestleMania 37, Wyatt would use his Fiend persona, and according to Wyatt in an interview with Ryan Satin, the character is no more, and the Fiend is dead. The Fiend died that day in Tampa, Florida at WrestleMania. To me, the Fiend is not just a goof in a mask like people think. That's just ridiculous. To me, it's so much more where all these things come from, how they molded me as a human being, but he died that day to me, and it can never be again. Wyatt takes on LA Knight tomorrow in a Mountain Dew pitch black match. What do you guys think of the Fiend being dead? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Nikkita Lyons injured. Bad news for NXT superstar Nikkita Lyons, as the Blonde Bomber is out with an injury. Lyons was written off WWE television with an injury angle earlier this week when a mystery assailant laid her out in the parking lot. Meltzer is reporting that Nikkita Lyons suffered a torn right ACL and torn meniscus in the match of Level Up with Jakara Jackson on 17th January. The injury was said to be serious, but we didn't get a diagnosis past that it was feared a torn ACL. She was being evaluated this week. This is Lyons' first injury, as she injured an MCL last May, missing about a month of action. We send our well wishes to Nikkita for a fast and full recovery. Next up, AEW and Luchasaurus being sued. AEW and Luchasaurus are being sued by Composite Effects LLC, a company which designed the mask AEW's resident dinosaur users. According to Wrestlelamia Brandon Thurston, the suit alleges that AEW and Mattelson are using a copyrighted mask design for merchandising purposes without the designer's permission. The Louisiana-based designer states that it owns licensing and design rights on all of our characters. The lawsuit specified that Mattelson was entitled to use a mask in events as a wrestler, but neither he nor anyone acting on his behalf was entitled to create merchandise that incorporated the mask design. Now, IP is no joke, as fans have seen wrestlers and promoters make every effort to protect their creations. It'll be interesting to see how AEW responds to this suit and whether any of the plaintiff's allegations are proven in court. And finally, Banger Brothers are no more. And last but not least, it appears the Banger Brothers are no more. Dave Meltzer reports in the latest Observer that WWE has dropped the name The Banger Bros for Sheamus and McIntyre after finding out about the porn company called The Bang Bros. However, there is no indication Sheamus and Drew are splitting up. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.